I have a plea for Mr. Joe Rogan, as I just hit day 105 on the carnivore diet, and it's completely changed my entire life. And a lot of other people I have met along this amazing journey on the carnivore diet. At my heaviest, this is one of my biggest revelations, I was 100 pounds heavier than I'm about to be. When I lose 13 more pounds, I will have lost 100 pounds total from my heaviest. I just got done jogging and exercising and doing pull-ups this morning. Unthinkable that I would have done that a year ago. And that was the last straw, and that was when I decided to try carnivore diet. And I wasn't saying to myself, oh, I'm just going to eat meat for 30 days. I'm going to say something I'm eating is causing all of these issues. I had IBS, I had acid reflux, I had arthritis in my toe, in my back, in my elbows. I was in constant pain. I had brain fog, depression, anxiety, and sleep apnea. A lot of people I've talked to, so many people, including you out there watching this, are probably saying, hey, I got a lot of those things too. My stomach's always gurgling and bubbling. I've got acid reflux. I have trouble sleeping. I have brain fog. I just don't feel like myself. And I've met so many inspiring, amazing people. People like Amanda from Carnivorous Me, who's had an amazing journey over the course of 1 year, not just losing weight, but overcoming horrible depression and anxiety. People like my friend Sean you see here, this was 1 year ago, this is him today.
That's the couch I laid on for 3 years, couldn't move, couldn't get up, couldn't take a shower, couldn't hardly watch myself without being out of breath. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. Like, it can literally change your life.
People like Dante from Frigno Freedom.
Ultimately, it only matters whether or not I can take care of my family. It's amazing what's happening to me.
You've got to be in control of what you're doing with your body.
He looks completely different. He's so much healthier. So this message is for Joe Rogan. I've had over 1 million views on my carnivore videos in the last 28 days. Thousands of comments from people of all ages, all walks of life, whose lives have been completely changed eating the proper human diet, eliminating sugar and processed junk. Joe Rogan, it's amazing. And whether you, Joe Rogan, intended to or not, your podcast has been a vehicle for changing more people's lives than I think you or anyone could ever imagine. You would not believe how many comments I get from people who've reversed type 2 diabetes, who were in a mobility scooter and can walk now, who were so horribly depressed they couldn't get off their couch and they were going to kill themselves. You would not believe how many people tell me they learned about carnivore diet through Dr. Jordan Peterson on your podcast.
You're on this carnivore diet now.
I am not a dietary expert, so I'm now speaking as an uninformed citizen. Okay, so this is what happened. I stopped snoring the first week. I thought, what the hell? I started waking up in the mornings. I'd never been able to wake up in the mornings my whole life. Then I lost 7 pounds the first month. Then I lost 7 pounds the next month. Then I lost 7 pounds the next month. I lost 7 pounds every month for 7 months. It's like I had to throw away all my clothes. And my psoriasis disappeared. And I had floaters in my right eye, and they cleared up. And she said to me, quit eating greens. And I thought, oh, really? Jesus, Michaela, try it for a month. I'm better now, probably, than I've ever been in my life. And I haven't been taking antidepressants for a whole year. Here's the coolest thing. I've had gum disease since I was 25. It's gone.
They learned about carnivore diet from Dr. Baker on your podcast. They learned about carnivore diet from your own example, Joe Rogan. I know you recently started carnivore diet again. It's weird. It's like you're tapping into something primal. This, Mr. Joe Rogan, is my race car. You have your own race car. You can find an old Model T car that's been sitting forever, and you can siphon that old, dirty, rusty, watery gas out, and you could put that into your race car. And it'll putter along, maybe. Or you can put some high-octane fuel into it, and it's just going to fly. And that's what the carnivore diet is. You're giving your body the proper fuel, the fuel that humans have had since the start of time. Imagine a football field, 100 yards wide. And now at the very edge of the football field, we have this little sliver, one blade of grass at the edge of that whole 100-yard line. That one blade of grass represents the standard American diet that people have been eating for the last 100 years or so. And what has happened over that last 100 years or so? People are addicted to sugar, carbs, and processed junk, and other things, high fructose corn syrup, and everything that breaks down as sugar in the body. It causes huge inflammation and huge problems. Over that 100 years, that one little blade of grass, Mr. Joe Rogan, what has happened? Obesity, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, depression, anxiety, autoimmune disorders, IBS, all of those are going whoosh, through the roof at the same rate as that sugar consumption and junk food consumption. And more importantly, the demonization of eating meat. Now, let's look at those first 100 yards before that one blade of grass. What did people eat? They ate like I ate. They hunted and they gathered. They would catch a big piece of game, a huge piece of meat, and they would feast on that meat. And then maybe they'd fast for another week before they would get some more meat. And then maybe 3 weeks out of the year, at my property here, we have wild berries. We get those 3 weeks out of the year, Mr. Joe Rogan. What do those people eat the rest of the year or the entire winter? They ate meat. Our bodies have evolved to eat meat. There's scientific studies on this. The heart functions better on ketones. The brain functions better on ketones. Sure, you can put sugar in there and process it, but you're going to feel like absolute garbage. If you have poor metabolic health, if you're at risk for diabetes, if you have a lot of inflammation, you're eating a lot of sugar and junk food, you are 6 times more likely to have heart disease than if your LDL numbers are higher. And there's so much nuance to LDL numbers and cholesterol, but that's the only thing that everybody talks about. I've completely gotten rid of the inflammation in my body. My arthritis is gone. I'm running, I'm jogging, I'm exercising. I couldn't do any of that before. I was sick before. I was fatigued before. I had brain fog and depression and anxiety. I would wake up hundreds of times through the night with sleep apnea. I don't snore anymore. My life has been completely improved, and people out there need to know that this is an option. I know there's other people out there just like me that are hopeless and they're at the end of their road and they don't know what to do and they think there's no options, but there are options. Mr. Joe Rogan, I hope this message reaches you. I hope my followers and friends watching this, please share this. Please send it to Joe Rogan. Tweet it out to him. That's why I'm putting together a documentary. And when I say that, I start cringing because people think I'm trying to make money off of this. I don't want a penny. I'm not taking a penny. I'm putting together a carnivore diet documentary to show this. I want to reach people that are hopeless, like I was, or that my friend Sean was, who I've met. I want to bring Sean and I want to bring Amanda from Carnivores Me on your podcast. I want to share their stories with people because, Joe, they're unbelievable. These people's lives have been changed forever. My friend Sean, for example, he lost 243 pounds in 1 year. 1 year. Look at Sean before, and now look at Sean today. And Sean is thriving. Sean is absolutely thriving. Sean is going to be in the Carnivore Diet movie. I want to follow real people for 1 year. People that have obesity, but not just that. I want to cover mental health, depression, anxiety, IBS, autoimmune disorders, arthritis. I would love to come on your podcast. I would love to bring my friends that I've met on my carnivore journey. Sean from Intentional Carnivore down 243 pounds. My friend Amanda from Carnivores Me, she had a walker. She just hit 1 year on carnivore. She's paddleboarding, she's exercising. Her depression, anxiety are gone, and a litany of other health issues are completely wiped away from one simple thing: nutrition, proper human diet, eliminating sugar, processed garbage. Not only that though, it's getting meat and cholesterol that's been demonized for years. You get that cholesterol in your body, it normalizes your hormones, your depression lifts, your sleep improves, your immune system's better. Imagine if the next generation of children were off of sugar and off of inflammation and they were eating the proper human diet. What a world we would live in. I've been reading this book. This is from 1974, Sugar Blues. It's very scary. Consumed at the rate of over 150 pounds per year per person, sugar is as addictive as nicotine or heroin and as poisonous. It's responsible for numerous health issues such as depression, fatigue, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, and more. It's sugar. This is from 1974. The problem has only gotten worse since then. Imagine if we were living in a world where people, at least they had this information. That's my goal in life. That's my mission right now. I'm putting together this carnivore diet documentary. I have so many people and amazing stories and examples that I want to share with the world. I want to reach people that are hopeless and helpless and say there's an alternative. There's a reason that you're struggling and that you're suffering and that you have depression, anxiety, obesity, diabetes, and these things are reversible. And I can only do that if I can get this word out to the masses. My daughter had open heart surgery. She almost died right here, 20 feet from me in our house. The paramedics came through here right at the heart of COVID. She had blood clots in her body. And I now realize those blood clots were due to medication. And that medication, I now realize, was completely unnecessary for her. And the reason she got it, and she needed that, was because her hormones were out of balance because of her nutrition. Something the doctors will never tell you about. If I get no other message across to people in this carnivore diet movie, it's just about nutrition, 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 nutrition. 99% of the issues people are going to the hospital and the doctor for our nutrition. And doctors are throwing pills at them and they're not working. Healthcare is getting more expensive. People continue to suffer and they suffer. It rolls over. It becomes normal. And soon they're walking around like a zombie with huge bags underneath their eyes. They're depressed and they're anxious and it becomes their new normal. And they think that's their way of living. They're in the fog, my friends, and I am out of the fog. Every one of you watching this deserves to live at least one day with zero inflammation in your body, with none of that sugar in your body, powering your body by the proper fuel, the high octane fuel, fat, meat, ketone. What is a bigger calling in life than helping change somebody else's life forever? So please help us help as many other people as we can. Visit carnivoredietmovie.com. You can register to participate, you can donate, or you can just share that and it'll help greatly. And please send this out to Joe Rogan, share it, tweet it to him, anything we can to get the word from him. And wouldn't it be amazing if he watches this and decides to share it or even have us on his podcast? If you enjoyed this video, I think you'll enjoy my 30-day update where I get into more details about all of the things that were reversed through the carnivore diet in my life and my daughter's.